Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to bring you your weekly market update of the data sort instead of the Fab 2.0 sort. I guess that's what we're settling on for the name, Fab 2.0, and then market updates. So this is the market update. Interesting week. Last week, as you recall, was pretty quiet. There wasn't much going on as far as dips and jumps. A few that were close but not worth the heat map, as you can see here and here. This week's a little different. Clearly, there's been a drop in the market across the board. Quite a few that were close to being on the heat map, but not quite there. So yeah, let's get into it. Unlimited Crew dropped down to $64. I think this is the lowest I have on record. Let's see. Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah, it's the lowest I have on record. So that is a record low for Crew Unlimited boxes. Good time to buy if you need cards in there. I'm not sure how many people do. Not sure if there's any particular reason for this other than it's just a few dollars lower than it was before. It's been a while. It's been out for a while. Unlimited isn't all that exciting because you don't get the cold foils and stuff. So I imagine that's just the way it is. People have most of the cards they need. Unlimited cases. ARC is up on fire. 13% jump. I believe that is reflecting. Yes, it looks like it's just reflecting the box price jump. And you'll note that the box came down 4%, so it was close to a blue, but, you know, as we talked about last week, this volatility, this up and down spiking, it's doing that crazy thing where I fully expect it to find a new floor at some point. I don't know if it's today, I don't know if it's tomorrow, I don't know if it's 6 months from now, but it's doing the volatility thing, which usually indicates, in my experience with other things, you're about to reach a new price level, and essentially the market's fighting. So people will put boxes up, they get bought out pretty quick, and then people want them, so they buy them, and that pushes the price up, and then the supply slowly dwindles, and boom, now it's got a new price floor. So anyways, the cases are falling behind. Interesting timing on that. I think we talked about this being an arbitrage opportunity last week, which it seems was a pretty good one because now the cases have jumped up and maybe people listened to this and took that advice. I'm not 100% sure and not 100% sure if it's the best advice. It wasn't really advice because I don't offer financial advice. This is just a guy talking about market data and what happens. So Crew cases unlimited 298 dropped 6.7%. So it seems there's just downward pressure on Crew. I'm not unlimited. I don't know exactly what that is. If anyone knows, leave a comment. Maybe there's something specific, expected bans or something. I don't know. Mon is close to getting a blue. It has been kind of declining for a while now, so we had that upward spike, and now it's just kind of settling back down. I'm assuming this is a reversion to the mean because of the speed of it, and then we might get another spike up. Maybe there's supply issues there as well. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on that one as we go forward. ARC's new price, it spiked up to 1600 held. Remember, we were all the way down at 14.4. Sorry, ARC first edition I'm talking about here. We were all the way down to 1450 basically, and it spiked to 1600, and it has held. So the price has not come back down. That was the lowest. I believe that's the lowest in my records, and it was a very, very tempting and tasty price, and I don't regret it. I kind of regret it. I kind of wish I had bought one box at that level, but that's okay. I'll live, and if I really wanted it, I'd buy it here because that's not that big of a difference. $150 in the scheme of things, not a big difference when it comes to something like a long-term hold collectible. But I'm not super into spending that kind of money right now on first edition boxes. I just got other things to put my money into right now. With the markets how they are. Crew first edition is down 5.5%. I think that is the lowest for first edition I've seen on the box level as well. Yeah, so there's just a real serious downward pressure on Crew. I wonder what that's about. Anyone know? Is there something happening with the supply in the market or something? I don't think there's anything major in the Crew period. If anything, this should be getting the upward pressure soon. So maybe some hot buys here. Not financial advice, of course, but these downward pressures on Crew may end up being a very good time to snatch some up. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Hopefully it does the downward trickle like we saw with ARK over here. And we get some really tasty prices. Mon, because Crew is a supplemental set that touches every class. So I value both the supplemental sets at a premium long term, because those cards will be needed, right? So I guess it depends on how historic packs end up affecting the EV. Maybe that's part of it. I wonder if historic packs are affecting Crew's EV somehow. That's something to think about. I'll have to look into the details of the cards that are in historic that come from Crew as well. Mon is down to 104, super low for first edition, down 8.5%. So again, if you're looking for dips, this is a dip. I think that's the lowest I have. Yep, that's the lowest first edition Mon price I have tracked. Tales of Aria is not doing anything. Everfest dropped like a rock. The only thing I can think of here is we're probably outside of map. I believe that's correct. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But I believe we just left map this week, and so you're going to see that crater price happen immediately from those that want to dump stock at any price. They don't care. So we're seeing $47 a box, which is incredibly cheap for a supplemental set first edition. I sadly have so much of it because I overbought. Very excited for the set, and clearly now would be the time to buy it. So keep that in mind. Just outside of map, if you're looking to hold sealed product, is the timing of the kind of J curve when to buy it. We'll look at the charts, but this is the period that's probably your best bet for buying any first edition, or in the future case, Fab 2.0 case, any new release set is post, I think it's 180 days is the first map drop. I am curious if this is dropping below, because there are two tiers of map. It's 20% and 35%. I don't know the timing on the second one and how long it lasts. And I also am not sure if this is 35% off of map. I could be wrong. MSRP. So it may be below map right now, and people are just saying, we don't care. We need to get this stock out so that we can afford the next set. ARK, interestingly, jumped back up to $18,999. We've talked about this ad nauseum, how I don't trust this price. There's no sale. I did look. The guy, Salty Whale, who had these ones, these 8,000s up, is not listed there anymore. So we're back to the two that were up, and this $18.99 is the same $18.99 that was listed back here. $18,999. Sorry, I keep saying that. Salty Whale was 98888 and then gone. I don't know if it's sold. That's you know how typically on TCG Player has a little chart in the historic sales and stuff. It doesn't when there's so few in volume. So we actually have no idea. If anyone knows for sure, has confirmation out in the world, let me know, because I would love to know if that Salty Whale $8,000 box sold through TCG Player or not, or if he just delisted it. No inside knowledge on that, but it is curious if 8,000 sold, or if they couldn't even sell it at 8,000 and the real value, market value, is below 8,000. We just don't know where. I just don't know. Anyways, Monarch first edition cases down to 8%, 433. Again, getting pretty tasty on those prices. I'm allowing it to go further. I would personally wait, because I'm okay in my Mon position, but it's getting to the place where it's like, ooh, this is getting exciting. Same with Tales of Aria, 340, very low. And it's been declining for a bit here, so we have seen lower though, 319 back here, so we're still kind of in that mean area, but there has been volatility there. We've talked about that ad nauseum as well. Everfest is 254 for a case, down 7.8%. I believe this is the same thing that map transition. I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, leave a comment, let me know. But we have been declining steadily, and then this was the first serious decline that was markable as a heat map situation, which probably means that it is just falling off of map, and now it's allowed to go to its natural market price. We shall see. All right, let's take a look at the best selling. Oh, shoot, I didn't put in the right size for you. There we go. All right. Interesting to see E-Strike at $23. I'm just, I guess, used to seeing it. Oh, okay, no, that is really cheap. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm not losing my mind. So $23 is really cheap. I thought it was cheap, but then I was like, well, I haven't paid close attention to it, so maybe it's just me. But we do have near mint unlimited Edition rainbow foil. Oh, it's the okay. I'm thinking the rainbow foils. The normal edition. This is the normal price. I think I just have been looking at the rainbow foils because they're the more valuable ones. So yeah, very affordable, but a lot of best selling here. Interesting. Is that some Phi Tech? Is that Dromai? Who's using this E Strike? Is it maybe a hybrid Icelander? I could see that. She's definitely used E Strike in some of her Blitz decks and older deck techs, so I could see that. There's some real value there for an Icelander that's a muscle mage. So that's possible. Interesting to see that in a best-selling category. Again, we're back to Wizard. Shiana's jumped up for some reason. Price has barely moved up. I think it was like, yeah, it looks like that's basically the price it's been for a while. A little bit down, actually. Not sure why the volume's up, though, on Rainbow Foil Shiana, but whatever. Maybe there's some fun decks to play with it. Cross Wrap is still on there, obviously Uprising, and then the Crown of Providence is still super hot. CNC is down to 77. It was up to like 100 just the other day, so this may be a steal you're looking for. Yeah, see, look at this. It was over 100 recent sales, and then someone dumped a bunch of stock on there. So just be aware the volatility on this is going all over the place, up from, let's say, 115 down to 75. So definitely see this is a pretty good deal. I might pick one up myself, actually. Uh-oh. Come on, TCG player. There we go. The Blood of Drakai is moving. I'm not sure if that's the collectible one or the non-collectible one. Flame Scale, and then Tome is back in the running, and it's just the normal stuff we've been seeing, all the collectibles from the new stuff. So I'm guessing we're seeing the same sort of market, nothing too exciting there. Again, player driven. I did want to point out one fact before we jump into the charts. History packs are at $389 for a case. That is the lowest I have seen. I do not track it, so I could be wrong on that, but they typically hold at $400 and they're at $389. The individual boxes are still $99, so they're holding at about their price, expected price, but the cases are down to $389. So if you're interested in History Pack Volume 1, this is the lowest it's been pretty much. I could be wrong on that, but fairly accurately so. So maybe this is the time to pick up a case. Again, it's not collectible. It's not meant to be collectible, so I don't track it. Anyways, let's see. So Unlimited, I'm getting a nice little J curve coming back up on WTR. And then on the box and case divided by 4 chart, we are looking at a major drop in the premium here. Case divided by 4 is 56. Still holding at this undervalued price for the, instead of a premium, for the case. So it looks like it's coming back. It's reverting to a matched or parity price. Either way, we're talking 275 difference, not a big enough difference to be what would be an arbitrage opportunity. Let's keep moving. ARC shot way up. We talked about that before. Kind of crazy. And then we're seeing, yeah, see the premiums catching up a week later after the shoot up here. This is interesting. So this is, we are now seeing this pattern. I think we're seeing it in a couple places where we get these jumps in the individual price, but the case takes a week to catch up because basically that arbitrage is there and people take advantage of it to some degree, whether they're doing it out of arbitrage or just because they're like, oh, the cases are cheap and buying them for themselves to open or whatever. Point being, this is a pattern that I think we'll see more and more because cases are harder to move than individual boxes. Crew dropping off a cliff. We've talked about this. Nice and steady state dropping off a cliff. Mon. Steady as she goes, downward general pressure. Still working within the same channel. And we are now at a $3, arbitrage between cases and boxes. Nothing to write home about. Tales of Aria. Steady state rose to a new level. I wouldn't say we're in anything interesting. Here's that J in flatline. So this is kind of what I talk about. It's interesting to finally see this. I'm not sure if this will be a perfect example, but so you got that volatility, you got the drop off, and then you have the steady as she goes kind of above the J. And I usually try to buy it kind of in that period because you don't know if it's going to keep going down. You don't know how big the J is. It could loop way lower, but excuse me. That's usually at the up curve is where I try to buy. So I probably would have bought at 55 and then it sits at 56 and it may come back down and then up and down and up and down and basically do a new plateau. And then eventually stock will run out. We'll get a lot of volatility again and then it will go up new plateau, maybe another J into what the stable situation is. Because what happens is people get hyped when there is some sort of change in situation, so they overbuy into it. And then when they realize the tendies aren't going to go higher, some of the people that get in sell out, so it drops down. It reverts to a middle ground between its previous plateau and that artificial high. And so that's where you get that J curve, because it's the market forces of supply and demand basically fighting each other right here and then stabilizing. That is typical market movements. Again, not financial advice, not a definite, especially in Fab. But it's something. Oh, right. No Everfest data. Never is. I keep messing that one up. But it's something that is a common market dynamic thing. Oh, shit. Okay, my percentages aren't working. I don't know what happened there. We don't really cover them, but I do like to have them just to look at. I'll have to figure out why that's broken. Okay, started at Mon. That's wrong. WTR, very boring. Nothing interesting. Falling off, still falling off. Fine. We'll see if it keeps going down. ARK got insane, but again, artificial information. Do let me know if you know what happened with this box here. Very interested to find out. This premium has been restored. Again, all artificial data, because these are not sales, these are just listings. Crew, downward drop and steady. As we talked about, the premium is higher now because this is staying steady while this is declining. We'll see how that holds up, because as we saw in the previous charts, the case price can basically lag a week behind the box prices. They tend to stay somewhat correlated. Monarch still falling down. We were just seeing a lot of downward pressure in all this market, and it's hit a point of toughness. I don't know if this is general economic pressures on shops, getting them to put boxes up for cheaper than they would, or if there's bigger moves happening in the space. Again, Everfest falling off a cliff. Again, I think that's the map change. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Uprising just coming down and sitting steady at the artificial floor. So if this was a natural market situation, you know this would keep going down, because map prevents that from happening. All right, so that is it for the market update. I hope you guys are having fun cracking packs and playing some good games. If you're not in it for the games, then I don't know why you are. This is definitely a market that is based on enjoying the game first and making a little extra money afterwards as a secondary benefit. If you like the content, subscribe, leave a comment if I can do something better or different or cover something differently. Happy to do it. Always looking for new ways to improve, so do let me know how I can do that for you. And don't forget, you can join our Patreon if you're interested in having, in-depth conversations on our Discord. We do talk about market fluctuations and things going on, deals, pricing, special vendor situations that pop up where they'll offer really good prices for like a weekend or whatever, or package. So we do talk about that stuff if that is something you're interested in. So feel free to join us on the Patreon. I think it's for as little as $1, so a very little support will get you that. So anyways, I hope you guys are having fun, and I hope you have a good day and continue to enjoy Flesh and Blood. I will see you next time.